Alright, what is happening, champions? I am very pleased to present you with my very first video in my garage review series, and it is all about this beautiful Russian piece of machinery, the Su-85B. In my opinion, the most overpowered tank in the game. And I know a lot of you are looking at me like, what? The Su-85B. What the fuck are you talking about? It's a tier 4 tank destroyer. There's no way it's the most overpowered tank in the game. Well, Mr. Know-It-All, how does a 72% win rate grab you? How does 800 average experience per battle grab you? How does getting at least one Top Gun every day grab you? That is what this tank is about. That is the kind of power that this tank has inside of it. The potential that you could have inside yourself. That is what this thing is about. And I want you to watch this review, not because I want to have a lot of fun, but because I want you to have a lot of fun. When you drive this tank, you are just an absolute beast on the battlefield. And I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't have enough fun playing World of Tanks. So, it is my pleasure to bring you with the most fun tank in World of Tanks. And for those of you who just want to see a replay, I will provide an annotation right here, not yet, but in just a second I will provide that for you to skip right to the replay, proving all of the things I am just talking about right now. But if you want to know the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the pros and cons of driving this tank, I suggest you watch my review, because it will tell you everything you need to know about driving this tank and how you should play it. But then again, if you're stubborn, there you go. Alright, are they gone? Thank God, I didn't want to tell those assholes all my secrets anyway. Let's have some fun. Alright, so let's do a little stat comparison. We've got the Hetzer from Germany, the SAU-40 from France, the M8A1 from America, the T-40 from America, and the Electo from England. And all of these tanks, except for one, have their normal tank cannons. The only one that doesn't, right here, the M8A1 with the 75mm AT Howitzer M3. But the good thing about that is that this tank can also fit the 76mm AT gun M1A1. So just think of the stats on this tank as the stats on this one, as far as the gun goes. So let's take a look. 260 hit points, which is the second least amount of hit points. The M8A1 has the least amount. 13.21/15 weight load limit, so it's not the heaviest tank, but it is not the lightest tank. That goes to the Electo. There it is, with 8.1 or 8.2, which is pretty damn light. And it gives it a respectable speed limit because of the engine power. So you've got 43 kph, which is not the slowest or the fastest. The fastest goes to the M8A1 with 58 kph, and the slowest goes to the SAU with 37 kph. This does have the fastest whole traverse speed, which is awesome, 40 degrees per second. The slowest would belong to the SAU with 28 degrees per second. Not the greatest hull armor, but you're not really expecting that from a tank destroyer. Obviously, the Hetzer, you do get a lot of bounces in this machine, especially at Tier 4 with other Tier 4 tanks, I mean. But you're not really expecting it. It's not something you count on. So we're not really going to read too much into that. This is where we start to see the main difference. The gun. The gun on this tank is absolutely deadly. The 85mm LB2S. Now, the standard shell damage is 120 to 200. The standard shell penetration is 98 to 163. Now, this is where the Russian guns really start showing their power. None of the other tanks can even hold a candle up to the damage that this tank can do. 83 to 138 for the Hetzer, 83 to 138 for the SAU, and of course this is without their 105mm cannons that they have. We're not really going to look at that one because it's a howitzer. This one, 86 to 144, so it's getting closer, but that's the M8A1. And this one, 56 to 94, but the rate of fire on this thing is absolutely insane. 26 shots, or 26.9 with the rate of fire, rounds per minute. So yeah, with this gun, you're pumping out a shot every 4.5 seconds with a 13.33 rate of fire. Of course, the other tanks have a faster rate of fire, but with the superior penetration and the superior damage, this has got the best DPM. And with the accuracy and just the amount of shots you can pump out with the aiming time, this tank's gun is amazing. In fact, the only thing that's wrong with the Su-85B's gun is its depression and elevation. The hull gets in your way when you're trying to depress the gun, and when you're trying to elevate the gun, strangely enough, even though it's an open-top tank, it just doesn't have that good elevation. But, you know, that's kind of what you expect when you can't really depress the gun either, is you expect shitty elevation, although there are tanks out there that are the exception. With the gun traverse speed, that's not really too important for me. The only time it's really important is when you have a turret and it's really, really slow, like the M8A1s right here, 18 degrees per second for the gun traverse speed. The view range is great, with the T40 having the best view range and it having a very good 390 because it's an open-top tank. And the signal range is pretty good, although the T40 and the Hetzer have the best signal range with 615. So there you go. There's your stats comparison. It's pretty normal across the board, but it's the gun that really makes the difference on this tank. And what people don't realize is a tank destroyer is all about the gun, and that is why this tank is so superior, is because in the category of tank destroyer where it's all about the gun, it's got the best gun. Now that we've talked about how good this tank is on paper, let's talk about what skills to give your crew and what modules to fit to your tank. Because this is World of Tanks, I always go with the tank gun rammer. This game is about firing your gun and reloading your gun, and anything that can make the reloading process better is a necessity. Next, this one's up for grabs. I have a replay that I'm ready to show you right after this that kind of describes how good the camo value is on this tank, especially if you have camo on your crew. Now, in that replay, I'm using a binocular telescope, and I'm still staying very, very hidden. That's just because this tank is really good at staying very, very hidden. So I use a binocular telescope because I like to be able to have that extra 25% added to my view range instead of the extra 25% added to my camo value that is already good to begin with. So that one's up to you. If you want to use a camo net, go ahead. But my suggestion, binocular telescope. Enhanced gun laying drive. Now, anything that helps with the aiming time as well is a very good idea, although the enhanced gun laying drive is a lot of money. And I know a lot of people are kind of cheap. They don't want to spend a ton of money on their tanks, but I'm telling you right now, if you spend money on this tank, it will get it back for you. It's a really fun tank. You will enjoy driving it, and it'll make it that much better if you have the enhanced gun laying drive. So now let's talk about the crew skills. This tank is a TD, so 6th Sense is a necessity. Definitely have 6th Sense on the commander. And then Recon to help with view range. The gunner snapshot. That is the necessity for the gunner. You have a really, really wide gun arc on this tank. And snapshot will help you track targets more effectively and not have to aim for as long. So definitely go with snapshot on the gunner. The driver. Now, I went with clutch braking, even though this thing has a really, really good traverse speed. I mean, this thing turns like a Ferrari. You can turn on a dime with this thing. But that clutch braking will just help you out, just that little extra bit, especially if a light tank is trying to circle strafe you. So, clutch braking, and then, of course, off-road driving. Most of the game is rough terrain, so off-road driving is really, really going to help with the traverse over mountains and grasslands and swamps and all of that bullshit. So definitely go with off-road driving for the driver as well. And then finally, this is a really cool part about this tank. Most of the time on tanks, you'll see that the commander is also the radio operator, but on this one, the loader is also the radio operator, finally giving him some really good skills to get. Definitely do situational awareness, and then if you want to, signal boosting. You don't have the best signal range right now. 525 meters isn't that great, so I would definitely do signal boosting. Now, let's do that replay I was talking about earlier, just showing you how good the camo is on this thing. Alright, so this section is focused on your base camo value and your ability to deal with higher tier targets. As you can see, there's a Churchill 1 over there. He's not really renowned for his view range, but he is renowned for his toughness and his ability to deal with lower tier targets. And I am a lower tier target, Su-85B tier 4 versus a Churchill 1 tier 5. Now, when you're in this machine, that doesn't matter. The gun is so good, your camo value is so good, and your rate of fire is so good that you can destroy this guy easily by yourself. You just have to keep calm, juke him, trick him, and try to keep your distance. Definitely don't want to get into a close-range pissing match with this guy here. So check this out. I'm going to get the first shot free because he doesn't even know I'm here. Let it aim. Shoots true, right through the turret where it's weakly armored. Second shot, that quickly, but you have to let it aim. That one missed, unfortunately, so we'll back up. You have to let it aim. And I did not let it aim there. That is the problem. You have to let that thing aim. But I panicked because I got hit, and I moved. And there was a lucky bounce, surprisingly enough. So we're going to hide. We're going to pretend like we're going to come back in the same location. But in actuality, we're coming up in a different location. He has no idea I'm here. I've disappeared off his radar. I missed that shot, unfortunately. I did not let it aim. That one goes through, luckily. That one also didn't aim all the way. And now I'm going to pretend like I'm coming back to that other side. Now I've appeared off his radar. I can go back to my position and get another free shot. And I've been moving this entire time behind these bushes, and he still can't see me, even that close. And look what it costs him. Boom. There goes his tank. The Su-85B is such a capable tank in any match. It just dominates. Wow, that shot went through too. It's just so powerful and so much fun to drive. So these next few replays are all devoted to that gun, the LB2S anti-tank cannon. You're going to see how accurate it is. You're going to see the amazing gun traverse and what it can do for you. And you're going to see the difference between this gun and howitzers at Tier 4. Now let's take a more in-depth look at the LB2S. It's an 85mm cannon. It fires a shot off every 4.5 seconds with a 13.33 rate of fire. It has a standard penetration of 130. It has standard damage of 160. And it has accuracy of 0.38 and an aiming time of 2.3 seconds. Now, two of those stats stand out to me a little bit. They are, in fact, very, very wrong. I do not think they have these stats correctly written down. That's the accuracy and the average damage. I see a lot of really accurate shots coming out of this tank. I even have a replay set up for you showing you just how accurate this tank can be if you let it aim. Now, the average damage, I see a lot of 180s out there. I don't see a lot of 160s. I see a lot of 180s, a few 170s, but very rarely do I ever see 160 or lower out of this tank. It is just that damn good. So I don't believe these stats. So take them with a pinch of salt. And as you watch these replays, try to notice just how good this gun actually is compared to what the stats say. Okay, so here's the accuracy I'm talking about. We are on Sand River, and I've got myself a sniper position. Now, these guys are about, this guy's probably 300 to 400 meters away, and the other guy I shoot at is 400 meters away, 400 to 500. But watch how fast you fire, how fast you aim, and how accurate your gun is. M5A1 Stewart, 300 meters away. Put one shot into him. He's backing up. Put another shot into him that quickly, that accurately. Panzer IIIA, 431 meters away. Put a shot into him. Can see him again, just barely put another shot into him. There is the accuracy on your Su-85B. Alright, so check out how well this tank can do in the classic sniper role. You're looking at a Type T-34. He's 367 meters away. He's a Tier 5 tank. He's definitely going to take more than 2 shots to kill. But watch how well you can track with that gun traverse and how well you can take this target down with that rate of fire. Just constantly beating him to the point of death. So with this gun traverse, I don't have to turn my hull, no matter how far he goes. There's 2 shots, and because of my rate of fire, I'm able to kill him that easily. And look at this. Because of the gun traverse, I don't have to move my hull. I don't have to re-aim. I don't have to spend all of that time, and it allows me to take out the second target with ease. Alright, so now it is my pleasure to finally talk about the most important factor about this tank, the LB2S anti-tank cannon. This is the top gun on this tank, and it's the only gun I would recommend you ever use on this tank. Every other gun that you can use is just a waste of the potential of this tank. As you will see in my replays, this is the only gun that I use, and I love it. Absolutely amazing. And a lot of people at Tier 4, especially with their tank destroyers, tend to use the 105mm howitzers that a lot of them get. And I'm telling you right here and now, if you ever put a howitzer on this tank, you are ruining it. This tank was built for this gun. So why am I saying all of these crazy things about howitzers at Tier 4? There are plenty of people that have had a really, really good game with a 105mm cannon on their Hetzer, or their T40, or their M8A1. But let's talk about howitzers for a second, and why sometimes we hate them. Although they can be fun, howitzers have bad penetration. They have bad rate of fire. They have bad accuracy. And one of the most important factors for me about howitzers is how slowly the slug moves in air. Now, I've already talked about this a little bit in my ARL V39 video, so I'll kind of skim over it. Basically, the longer the barrel, the faster your shot is going to go, most of the time in World of Tanks. And that's because with a shorter barrel, the explosion that happens inside the chamber has less time to impart velocity on the slug. So, when you have a longer barrel like this one, this is what you're capable of. Boom. Let's see another one. Alright, so I've got a bit of a hypothetical situation for you. It's a direct comparison between the LB2S and the 105mm gun on the T40. Now, the LB2S's slug moves twice as fast as the 105mm slug out of the T40. So, let's consider that when we're watching this video. I want you to also consider that the aiming time and the accuracy do not matter. We don't care about that. Let's just say it's laser pinpoint for both tanks. Just think about how far ahead of this guy you would have to aim in order to hit him because of how fast your slug moves through the air. Interesting to think about, right? I mean, you would have to get more up on the hill because there was hill in your way. That would cost you time. Then you would have to predict even farther away than I did because my shell moves twice as fast as yours. So where the fuck would you aim? And how would you accurately predict that? I mean, that was a T70. That thing is moving way fast, and it's not easy to predict. It's a tiny target. So I just want you to consider all of those things when you're comparing a howitzer to the LB2S. Of course, no tank review is complete without showing some of the bad features of the tank. And with the Su-85B, it's its gun elevation and gun depression. That is as high as I can lift that gun in this tank. And watch how much trouble it causes me as I'm trying to bring my gun down to bear on this looks. I just can't bring it up enough to target this thing. I have to keep turning my hole, and of course I'm on a slight incline, so there's just no way I'm going to be able to aim at him until I move. Boom. And that will cost you precious time to move into a position where you can hit somebody with that gun depression. Let's see another example. Once again, if you are on any kind of terrain that is unflattened, you are going to have one hell of a time bringing that gun to bear on other targets. As you can see, that is the extent that I can lift the gun right now, and I'm trying to bring it down on this Su-85B. I just can't lift it anymore, no matter how hard I move or try, so I'm going to have to change positions just to get a shot on him. Like I said, it's going to waste a lot of my time to do so. So we've explored the stats of this tank versus the other Tier 4 tank destroyers. We've seen examples of just how well this tank will perform for you under pressure. But now it's time for me to put up or shut up. And this replay is me putting up for sure. This is my favorite match in the Su-85B. It is my best match to date. I hope you guys enjoy it, but we're going to talk about it for just 1 second. It is purely a Tier 4 maximum match. There are no Tier 5s. There are no Tier 6s. And at those tiers, what you do in this tank is you stay hidden. If you can keep yourself back, if you can keep yourself at range, you can penetrate the front of a KV-1. I've seen it happen. You can beat an AT-8 to death. I've done it. You just have to pick your shots carefully and take time. That's all it is. You don't do a ton of damage at those tiers. Just take your time. Do not expose yourself. You will get blasted by KV-1Ss and die in one shot. So keep yourself hidden. The reason I'm calling this tank the most overpowered tank in the game is not because it's out there one-shotting tier 10 heavy tanks. It's not because its armor is so thick you cannot penetrate it. It's because at its tier, it is so beastly that you can pretty much carry a team by yourself. Let's go ahead and see that replay. Alright, here we go. This is the match I promised you. The Su-85B on Severagorsk with that evil 85mm gun. We are just going to have some fun in the sun today. Absolutely wrecking the enemy team. It's a tier 4 maximum match. Here we go. And I will forewarn you, the start is pretty bad. I do not have the best match at the start, but later on you're going to see some absolute magic happen. Getting up this hill. This is kind of one of my favorite spots. Usually it works out for me, but in this circumstance it does not. But take note of it and maybe try it out for yourself. Let's try to take a shot at this M5 Stuart. Shit, that was a miss. My bad. I did not lead him properly. I don't know where that one went, but it was a very slim chance that it was going to hit him. I don't think it had any real chance, to be honest. But you know me, I'm going to take those shots, and it's going to be my downfall. I will ruin this for you. I do run out of ammo at the end of this match, at least standard and premium ammo. You'll see what I mean. Got a looks here. Shit, I've been spotted. Got to back up. Oh, can I get a shot on anything? Get a back up here, and fuck you, trees! Yeah, take those trees out. That's what they get. Normally, you'd actually try to knock those trees over so you have a little bit more cover. But I accidentally backed up into them and lost that camouflage. So keep that in mind. And as you can see up there on the scoreboard, we are getting our asses kicked. It is 0-3. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. This team just didn't know its ass from its elbow. They were just getting raped. They were getting gangbanged on all sides. Let's see what's going on up here. Come on, give me something to shoot at. I'm getting bored. And the rate of fire on this machine, I know I've talked about it this entire video, but man, it is just awesome. Especially for tier 4. Put a shot into him. Missed that one. Come on, Mr. M5. Put another one into him. Another no damage penetration. There we go, 166 damage. Shit, that one missed. I did not expect it to miss. I was backing up, and I lost a shot on him again. My bad, and I know there's no action right now, but here we go. This is where it hits the hard spot. We got this. M3 Lee, one shot. Two shots. I've been spotted. Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Puts the M3 Lee down. Bounces off the Hetzer. That was a pretty extreme angle. He was going and backing up the hill. Hit the upper casement. It was bound to bounce off. Hetzer is a really, really heavily armored for its tier. Well, not necessarily heavily armored. It's just well sloped. Check this out. And boom! See in hell, motherfucker! That was a nice little lead I had on that shot. Now that's a dangerous opponent right there. Another Su-85B. If he's got the 85mm gun, he could do some damage for sure. This Hetzer is also a dangerous opponent, but he's not the one with the 4 kills. There's another Hetzer on the enemy team with 4 kills. Got to be very wary of him. Good chance he has the 105mm. And that 105mm is very dangerous for this tank. Boom. Take that Hetzer out of play. Now we got an M3 Lee. Come on, just give me enough damage. Ah, shit. Not a high enough damage roll to kill him in one shot. Doesn't matter. Take him out. Look at that rate of fire. Look at that accuracy. Look at that aiming time. Absolutely beautiful. 85mm, harbinger of death on this tank. And it's a unique looking tank. I mean, look at that. The gun is all the way in the back of the tank. It's just very good to look at. Very cool. I love the open cab, the great view range. Everything about this tank is awesome, except for right here. You're going to see I have a lot of trouble bringing my gun down on this looks because of the gun elevation and the gun depression. See? They're very, very abysmal. There we go. Put a shot into him. He made a mistake of stopping to aim at the artillery. So I got a shot into him. Can I get a second? And you're going to see me move to one of the ultimate sniper positions in this map. It's a little later. But definitely take note of it. Boom. Take the looks out of play. Now I'm going to move to the sniper position. It takes me a while to get there because I get distracted by all the shiny red enemies. But when I do get there, I'm going to blow up some shiny red enemies. So check this shit out. I'm heading up to it right now, but I get distracted. Start trying to aim in vain at these enemies. Of course, I cannot hit them. And the scoreboard's looking pretty bad still. We're looking at 7-12. Not very good. This entire match has looked very bleak. Especially considering I have 5 kills and only 2 other people on my team have kills. And they only have 1, and they're dead. So, it's not going very well. Here it is. This is the ultimate place to be when you're a sniper. Preferably, you'd probably be over to the right in the bushes, maybe knock down some trees, create a little bit more camouflage for yourself. But this place works amazingly well. Now watch this. This is cool. Keep in mind we're at Tier 4. Not a lot of these tanks have the accuracy to fire this far away and hit me reliably. Put 2 shots into the B1. He backs off. Take out the medium. Check out this VAE Type B right here. This is cool. Can't see him right here. Doesn't matter. 1 shot at his ass. Straight to hell. See ya. Backing up now. I did take some fire there. T-70 now. Check this shot out. Give it the lead. Stay on target. Stay on target. Boom! Shika-lack, shika-bang! Right to hell. Right to hell. Now, I've only got 1 armor-piercing shot left, so I switched to my HE, as you can see. And I meant 1 armor-piercing premium ammo shot left, so APCR. But I do have 2 standard shots left. Now, I am on 8 kills. This is not a Radley Walters because this is such a low tier. I believe you have to be at Tier 5 to get a Radley Walters, so sadly, I'm not going to get a Radley Walters out of this. But if you think I'm done, you're very, very fucking wrong. Now, because I'm using HE, it doesn't matter because of the amount of health he had. I mean, he had 20 health. I only needed to do 20 damage, which HE can do very easily and has less of a chance of bouncing than standard. And there you go. I just took him out easily with HE. Very, very good situation for me. Artillery knows where I am. He's shooting at me, as you can see. Su-85B here. Because I'm using HE, if I punch through that upper casement, I'm going to explode him. Of course, he did not have a lot of health. I could have done that with a standard shot as well. But HE to this tank is absolutely deadly. You have to remember, when you're driving your Su-85B, do not get hit by HE. So KV-2s, other big tanks that have that are normally firing HE, you need to avoid. If you ever suspect a tank of firing HE, that's when you have to turn your caution button on and avoid them. You gotta be stealthy. You gotta be like Splinter Cell. Metal Gear Solid. So here we go. We're moving up this mountainside here. This was my plan, by the way. I didn't want to just sit around and wait on the cap. That's kind of... I'm not really that much of a player. I am a tank destroyer player, but I'm not going to sit around for the rest of the match when it could potentially end in a draw. I would rather move out and find the enemies. So this is me moving out, going up a hill. And the reason I'm going up this hill, I realize that I have terrible gun depression and elevation, but this is a sniper spot, and I am a sniper. I'm a good sniper tank, so I'm going up this hill regardless. I've got 2 standard shots here. It's a B1. Put 1 through him. Put another through him. And here comes the premium shot. Boom. Takes him out of play. That's what I'm talking about. So the B1 is gone. Now we're looking at 11 kills for this match. Holy shit. That is more than 2/3 of the enemy team. and it is currently my record holder for kills. I did have 11 kills with my T-18 back at Tier 2, but I'm a lot more proud of getting 11 kills with the Su-85B. I do realize this is a really overpowered tank for its tier, but it's still a higher tier than Tier 2. I mean, I'm still fighting... Oh, check this out. Yeah! Completely fuck up my tank and my tracks. Feel like a jackass, but hey, it was fun. I'm going to be honest, I had no idea. I did not see that hill. I am an idiot. I am a jackass. That was completely unnecessary. I could have killed my tank. I'm going to raise my hand and say even the player with 11 kills on the team can make horrible mistakes like that. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm a lot more proud of this because 11 kills in a higher tier like Tier 4 is just amazing. I love to see that because you are playing against players that have played this game for a little while and know what they're doing. So it's really an honor to have this be my record holder, and hopefully one day I'll beat it with maybe the Stug, maybe something cool like the Su-100. I have a subscriber named Captain Hindsight. He has 11 kills with his Su-100, which is fucking amazing. That's to get that many kills in such a high tier, absolutely amazing. So now we're headed to the cap point here. Nice work. He's saying nice work. I'm saying thanks. He's already in the cap. I don't mind that. I'm actually happy that he survived because it provides me with a sense of security that there's someone else on my team that could potentially spot the enemy and maybe kill him, or maybe allow me to kill him. And as you will see, this guy's actually a really nice guy. Jagertin or Jagertin or Jaggertin, I don't know, whatever he's going there. Yeah, so I just throw in my GGs because I know none of us are going to make it back to the cap. I don't want to try and risk it, not with 3 minutes on the clock or with this low of health. So actually falling off that cliff was a big mistake. And like I said, the M3 Lee is saying, if you want to stop cap, that's all right. We can go over there and stop it. I'm like, nah, it's all right. I'm happy with 11 kills. So there you go. The best game I've ever had in my Su-85B, sorry. Just an amazing, amazing match. Great tank. Extremely overpowered for its tier. And if you don't believe it after that video, I'm never going to convince you. Because we came up against some of the toughest opponents in Tier 4, and we beat them out. We had the view range. We led properly. We had the rate of fire. We had the accuracy. Everything that I've been talking about in this video proves in this replay that this is what this tank is about, and you need to drive this. You need to go out and buy this tank, because I will never, ever sell this tank. I will always keep it in my garage, and it will always make my bad days good. It will always make the rainy days sunshiny, and I just love getting in this tank and playing it and just dominating the enemy team. So there you go. There's my spiel. If you like the video, please leave me a like on this one. It'll let me know whether or not I should do more. Let's go to the after battle results screen. All right, and here is the after battle results screen for that one. You're looking at 55,873 credits, 4,818 experience, doubled for the first victory of the day. Top Gun battle merit, surprisingly nothing else, but then again, here at Tier 4, you don't really have the potential to earn very many battle merits. So there you go. 11 enemies killed, and pretty much everything we shot at we killed except for a Hetzer. I believe I bounced off of him, and that's it. On the B1, we knocked out the observation device, injured the driver and the gunner. On the other B1, we knocked out the track. On the M3 Lee, we injured the radio operator. On the other M3 Lee, knocked out the fuel tank, injured the driver. On the Hetzer, we knocked out the track. On the M5 Sturt, we destroyed the track. On the T-70, we knocked out the track. And finally, on the VAE Type B, we knocked out the track. But a lot of those guys were just one-shot kills for this amazingly overpowered tank. And really, if you had any doubt in your mind about whether or not this tank was overpowered, that should settle it. I mean, that kind of match, just pulling the team all the way back up and getting 11 kills, really, for the win as well. And the cool thing about that is that the M3 Lee also got the Invader medal, so good for him. That awesome. That rocks. I got my Top Gun. He got his Invader. We had a good time. And he did. I know a lot of you said, "Oh, he didn't do a lot of work," but he survived. You know, he gave this guy another reason to be afraid, and he gave me that security of having another teammate. So I appreciate that this guy lived, especially with a team with a whole bunch of zeros. You know, that didn't do much of anything, and this guy, which was AFK. So, you know, I appreciate what he did for the team. Oh, shit. What else should we cover here? 2,492 damage, 11 kills, 1,606 experience with Top Gun. This guy over here, the B1, got cool-headed. And detailed report, 36 shots fired, 25 direct hits, 24 penetrations, 2,492 damage done, 3 hits received, 2 of them were penetrations, 1 of them was a non-penetration, with a potential of 145 damage done to me, which doesn't matter. 260 hit points, not a big deal. 37,249 credits earned, and then 18,624 for a mission, which combines and makes a very nice profit down here, even with the resupply on ammunition, and that's, you know, down to my premium. It is kind of expensive to shoot the gun on this tank, but premium is a big part of why that's so expensive. And even then, I made a ton of money. Not so much, I mean, I would have still made a great profit without the mission, but with the mission, absolutely tons of money. So there you go, the Su-85B. Alright, so if that replay didn't immediately make you go out and buy one of these tanks, I don't know what will. I have plenty more replays of it on my channel if you want to see more from it. I had a lot of fun making the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys go out there and buy one of these things because it is just so much fun. It makes World of Tanks fun for me. And I know a lot of you guys, grizzled veterans out there, are all like, oh, you're a stat patter, you're just killing noobs. I am sitting at my computer desk with my free time entertaining myself. I am not trying to make this game competitive. I am trying to have fun. That is it. That is what World of Tanks is about. And I hope you guys can play the game for fun. I hope you really enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a like. It will tell me to do more in the future. This is my first one. This has been Nightmare. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Take it easy, gents.